Prime Minister Narendra Modi has set a target of cutting oil imports by 10% by 2022. That's a steep target, and many steps have been taken by the government to increase. One of the steps that is going to fulfill the target is exploration. And spearheading the country's exploration activities is with me the Director General of DGH, Mr. Atanu Chakraborty. This comes at a moment when the country is trying out something unique called open acreage licensing policy, which allows freedom for explorers to come and drill in the areas of their own choice. This is a very unique effort, and the bidding for that is going to start on 18th. Over to you, sir. How confident? It's a new kind of an experience. How confident are you about the success of this?
Well, the program was flagged off with effect from 1st July 2017, when submission of expression of interest under OLP started. OLP is based on the overall paradigm is the health policy, which is a very policy with a very relaxed regulatory oversight, provides for a unified licensing regime, and more importantly, it has a revenue sharing contract instead of the earlier production sharing contract, which reduces very substantially the regulatory burden. And largely the risk for a person who is trying to invest in India's subsurface is much less under the new program. And another interesting feature, as you very rightly pointed out, is that any investor can carve out his own block and then make a expression of interest in this. Initially we have seen very good success in this, because over last 6 months we have received roughly 57 expression of interest for 69,000 square kilometer of area. Out of that, the valid ones are 55 UIs, which convert themselves into 55 blocks with roughly 59,000 square kilometer of area, for which exploration would start after the bidding process is over. For an expression of interest, we have to go through a bidding process so that the entire process remains transparent and competitive.
And this cycle comes twice a year?
It's an ongoing process as far as UIs are concerned. However, the UIs would be bunched together twice in a year and would be put out for bidding. So the first bunching we did with effect from 15 November, which will go out and bid 55 blocks for 59,000 square kilometer of area on 18th of January. Subsequently, and the UIs are ongoing, we'll again bunch them together on 15th April, and by 1st June we'll bring out the second round, and so on and so forth. So every year we'll see 2 windows and 2 bids. So this is the first bid, that is round of 2017.
So over the last 2 years, we have seen a lot of fiscal steps coming in from the government to push exploration and production in the country, including marketing freedom, pricing freedom for gas. You have also, meanwhile, reassessed the country's prognostic resources. You have expanded the sedimentary basin. Do you think that all this makes India a very attractive destination for explorers? The way people earlier looked at India's subsurface was through the prism of the block for which they bid. And since the material is available subsurface, they never had a full idea of how the things are. 2 things have happened which have, in a sense, really changed the paradigm. First is the National Data Repository, in which the entire data for the full basinal surface of India, that is 3.2 million square kilometer, is now available for everybody. And NDR over last 6 months or so has been very popular with people. We have seen more than 100 users already on very regular basis who are using it. This in itself changes the perception of people how they look at, because they have a holistic idea. Apart from that, we are running certain other programs to make more data available, and that for exploration really changes the paradigm.
And the fact that under OLP people can make their own bid either for a reconnaissance, that is only for exploration, and or for petroleum operation contract, brings in an overall environment which is far more investor friendly and reduces their risk than the kind of regimes which existed earlier. And to top it all, government has brought down royalty and cess both, and given people the marketing and price freedom. Given the Indian market, this reduces the commercial risk very substantially. And the prognosticated resources for the country, as you yourself mentioned, the recent data shows with the availability of a better look at the petroleum systems, that India has now roughly 42 billion metric ton of oil and oil equivalent, out of which roughly 222 million barrels are yet to be found. That means we are sitting on 222 billion barrel yet to be found resources are a whole lot for which investors should be very eagerly looking at.
Just before leaving you, can you say simultaneously the discovered small field rounds are also underway? When is the second round expected?
Second round, most of the data work is nearing completion. Therefore, as soon as the final approvals come through, we should be able to launch. However, we will be spacing the two so that perceptions about the two type of rounds are clear. It would be very shortly.